Well, I guess now's as good a time as any. Back in 2022, I began working on a Transformers fan game using Unreal Engine 4. I didn't get very far with it, and due to college getting in the way, and at the time Reactivate was on in the way, I decided to take a step back from it to focus on other things. Jump to 2025, and Reactivate has been officially cancelled, and I have a bit more spare time on my hands, so why not get back into this project? But rather than just jumping onto Unreal Engine and throwing things into a pre-made template, I should actually plan things out first. So I've decided to create this video series to not only document progress on the game, but to also get ideas from fans who probably know more about the franchise than I do. Ever since I started working on the original attempt at this game, I've been writing down ideas for this game, so in the first part of this series I'll be going over some of those ideas I've come up with. Keep in mind that none of these are final, so if you'd like to add anything, please do it in the comments and I will try my best to read all of them. If you've seen Paper Plane's video on his Dream Transformers game, you're going to hear a lot of similar points. The main thing is that for the majority of this game, you'll be playing as a custom character, similar to the DS games for the movies. The customization will be similar to Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, where you start with a basic protoform and can add parts onto the body. Essential vehicle parts like wheels or wings will only have a few select spaces, so that the transformations can still look normal. Later in the game you can unlock more customization parts either from shops or quests. Once you finish making your character, you'll be given the choice to decide either the Decepticons or the Autobots. In terms of the main gameplay, I plan to create an open world that includes different locations like a small city, a desert for the Ark to be crashed into, and the Nemesis that will be sunk in the ocean. Throughout this open world you can discover different alt modes which you can choose or swap between at the base. Depending on which faction you choose, if you spend too long in robot mode in a populated area, you'll begin to get attacked by either the military or mech from Prime. In order to improve your character, I'll add a skill tree with many upgrades to help you progress in the story. Aside from the obvious ones such as stat boosts, there will also be Transformation Slam Attack, similar to Devastation. You can add weapons to alt modes like in Stealth Force mode in the High Moon games. Extra equipment slots, which I'll get onto a bit later. Or becoming a triple chainsaw, which allow you to choose multiple alt modes for your character. In terms of weaponry and other items, I've got ideas of different kinds. Firstly, there'll be ranged weapons and melee weapons. However, there will also be special items that can be equipped, such as minicons or other relics. I've listed some that I believe will work. So firstly, for melee weapons we have the Star Saber, Optimus's Energon Axe, Megatron's Energon Mace, Lockdown's Hook, the Magnus Hammer, Optimus Primal's Swords, Bayverse Prime's Swords, Animated Sentinel's Lance, Movieverse Scrapper's Mace, Animated Bulkhead's Mace, Prime Breakdown's Hammer, Prime Knockout's Saw, the Dark Star Saber, War for Cybertron Bumblebee's Sword, Devastation Devastator's Drill Hands, Drift's Katana, Earthspark Twitz's Swords, and Earthspark Cyber Slayer. Next up for ranged weapons we have Prime's Ion Blaster, Megatron's Fusion Cannon, the Seeker's Null Rays, the Immobilizer, Rhinox's Guns, Hot Rod's Exhaust, Dreadwing's Miniguns, Ratchet's EMP Gun, Inferno's Flamethrower, Bayverse Ironhide's Cannons, and the Requiem Blaster. In terms of the Minicon's abilities, so far I've thought of temporarily becoming invisible, Super Jump, Bayverse Lockdown's Face Gun, Mixmaster's Shield like in the Dark of the Moon game, Rocket Barrage, calling for reinforcements, however this will only work in certain areas, and you can add temporary fire and rust damage to your weapons. And lastly, the special items of unique abilities are the Matrix of Leadership, which for now I can only think of adding stat boosts to your character, the Phase Sifter, which can make you temporarily invulnerable to attacks, the Dark Spark, which will slow down enemies, Synthetic Energon, which will give you strength, Enigma of Combination, which will allow you to combine if you have any nearby allies, Dark Energon, which will give you a chance for fallen enemies to become allied Terracons, Red Energon, which will give you a speed boost, and Electrum, which will give you a shield that will get worn down from each attack. As you can probably tell, I'm trying to get items from as many different continuities as I can, but I'm not familiar with all pieces of media, so I've only watched, played, or read. With any luck, I intend for this game to be released for free with no microtransactions, so don't worry about anything like that. In the next video, I'll probably begin to plan out the story for each faction of the game. So once again, please leave any suggestions or questions you have in the comments and I will hopefully go over each one in the next video.